To solve a 5-digit by 2-digit division problem, we need to follow all the same steps as we have been. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat or remainder, and then at the end use the inverse to check our work. Now, we're not going to know our facts of 27s. So, in this problem, I don't know how many times 27 would fit into these numbers, but it's good to round your number to find something that you are a little more comfortable with. So I'm going to round 27 down to 25. I'm a little more comfortable with that number, so I'm going to use 25 as our base number. 25 doesn't fit into 1, it doesn't fit into 14, but it will fit into 146. Now again, if I'm thinking about 25 and I count by 25s, I can get a good estimate to see how many times it would fit into 146. If I count by 25s, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then 6 times. 25 will fit into 146 about 6 times. Now, I'm going to go ahead and check the real number 27 to see if it does in fact fit in 6 times. To do that, I'm going to multiply the original divisor, 27, by 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 plus 4 is 16. I actually end up getting 162, which doesn't fit into 146, but that gave me a good estimate. 27 will probably fit in not 6 times, but 5 times. Now, I don't know what 27 times 5 is, so I'm going to have to do a little more work here. Since we already have multiplied 27 by 6, I'm going to go ahead and take away 27 to see how many times it fits in 5 times. 12 minus 7 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So if I take 27 multiplied by 5, I'll get 135. Now we can go back to doing our normal work. Subtract. 146 minus 135. 6 minus 5 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is nothing. After we subtract, we need to bring down the next number in the dividend, which is 7. I now have the number 117. So again, I don't know how many times 27 would fit into 117, but I do have a pretty good gauge looking at 27 times 6 and how many times 27 times 5 was, 135. I'm going to go ahead and guess that 27 will fit into 117 only 4 times. I'm going to go ahead and check that though by multiplying. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. 108. So I can see that 27 only fits into 117 4 times. Now when we multiply, we get 27 times 4 is 108. Again, we need to subtract. 117 minus 108. Now that we've subtracted, we need to bring down the next number in the dividend, which is 2. Every time we can bring down, the next step is always to repeat back to the top, divide. 27 goes into 92 about 3 times. Again, if we think of 27 as the number 25, and we count by 25s, we'll get 25, 50, 75, and then 100, which means counting 4 times is probably too much, which is why I use 3. Now, I'm going to have to do 27 times 3 for the next step. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 plus 2 is 8, which means 27 times 3 is 81. Again, we need to subtract 92 minus 81. We need to bring down the next number in the dividend. Since we don't have another number in the dividend, that means this must be the remainder of 11. We're going to write our remainder as a fraction. We have 11 27ths. This might require you to have a lot of space for work. I'm going to go ahead and clear off some space on the screen here. Even though we have our answer, it's always a good idea to make sure you do the last step, inverse. Take your answer, 543 and 11/27, and multiply it by the divisor, 27. Seven times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 2 is 30. 7 times 5 is 35, and 35 plus 3 is 38. Now we need to automatically add a 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 5 is 10. We need to add up both rows of work. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 6 is 6. 8 plus 8 is 16. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 1. Now if I look at the dividend in our answer, we'll see that it doesn't quite match. So we need to remember to add in the remainder, 11. Once we add that in, we'll get a matching number of what we started with. This proves that our answer is correct. 14,672 divided by 27 is 543 and 11/27.